I will not speak to the details of the operation. Those questions can be directed to the Chief of Police. However, please remember that the operation is still ongoing at this time, so they may not be able to answer all the questions you have. Prior to the beginning of the operation, I was briefed on the plan, including its objectives, timelines, and contingency plans. I agreed with the approach that was presented to me. Let me say, I'm very, very pleased with the progress of the operation so far. It has been orderly and largely peaceful. I would like to thank the City Manager, Joe Penichetti, and the Police Chief, Bill Blair, my Deputy Mayor, Doug Holliday, and the Chair of Parks and Rec, Norm Kelly, for their operational leadership in resolving this situation today. I would also like to say how proud I am of the professionalism and skill demonstrated by each member of our City of Toronto staff and the Toronto Police Service who made this peaceful resolution possible. They have been working extremely hard since the protest began over a month ago. Before I conclude, I'd like to note that members of Occupy Toronto have been largely peaceful in their protest and remain so today. Finally, I'd like to thank the citizens of Toronto, notably the residents and businesses in the immediate area that affected it the most. They have been very, very patient for the past month. At this point, I'd like to turn it over to Mr. Penichetti to speak more about the city's role today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As the Mayor mentioned, just before 7 this morning, City staff entered St. James Park, supported by the Toronto Police Service, who asked that protesters cooperate peacefully and remove all tents and structures. They were also asked to refrain from gathering in the park overnight from 12:01 to 5:30 a.m. Our goal today was to remove tents and structures so that the park could be made safe for the enjoyment of all residents. A team of 100 city staff and 30 vehicles from Parks, Forestry and Recreation, Solid Waste Management, Bylaw Enforcement, Fire Services, EMS, Public Health, and Shelter Support and Housing Administration worked together to remove the materials from the park. At the same time, city staff and police worked together to bring the situation to a safe and orderly conclusion. We wanted to facilitate this peacefully, and I'm pleased that by and large this has been accomplished. The cleanup is ongoing, and we won't have a sense of the cost for the cleanup or damage to the park until the work is completed. We expect that the cleanup will be completed this evening. After the park is cleared, Parks, Forestry and Recreation staff will assess the damage and begin to make plans to restore the park. Staff will continue to clean and restore the park grounds and will winterize the sprinkler system. It will take a few days to do this work. Tents and other belongings have been numbered and inventoried so that they can be claimed by their owners. We will post information on the city's website as soon as possible on where people can pick up their belongings. Shelter Support and Housing Administration staff have helped several vulnerable people today who have been staying in St. James Park. Outreach staff and public health nurses have been in the park for anyone needing help and drove some who lacked transportation to where they needed to go. In addition, city staff were at the Adelaide Women's Resource Center at 6 this morning and will be there until 9 o'clock tonight to help anyone who may need assistance with shelter, housing, or other supports. After today, Streets to Home staff will check the park as part of their normal routine activities. In addition, people can stop by 129 Peter Street 24/7 to access shelter and other supports. I can tell you that this has been a massive undertaking with many city divisions and police working together closely over the last few weeks. Finally, I want to take this opportunity to thank the protesters for their cooperation to ensure the cleanup of the park was peaceful. Most importantly, I want to thank city staff and the Toronto Police Service for their extraordinary efforts in pulling together quickly to restore the park and make it safe and enjoyable again for all our residents. Mr. Mayor?
I'm sure there are a couple of questions. Go ahead, Mark.
Mr. Mayor, if you would, should protesters decide to occupy elsewhere, what's your message to them?
The protest is over, and I'd like to keep it that way. And if they do go to another park, we will ask them to leave immediately.
Mr. Mayor, some members of the left, Pam McConnell, Adam Vaughan, taking credit for bringing this to a peaceful resolution. What do you say to them?
You know what? It was a team effort. I thank the people that I was working with from the beginning. Norm Kelly, Doug Holliday, Joe Penichetti, and Chief Blair. So we all worked as a team, and I'm very, very proud of everyone that worked together to end this protest peacefully.
Mr. Mayor, I know you don't have a bill yet, but should taxpayers be on the hook for cleaning all this up?
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't know what the numbers are. It's very disturbing that the taxpayers will have to, unfortunately, pay for this. I don't know what else we can do.
Could you charge the unions? Or?
Well, it's, yeah, and we can't do that. So I don't know. I don't know what the costs are right now, and I'm sure Mr. Penichetti will get those numbers as quick as possible for us. Okay.
Is there another question?
As a
Okay, then it'll be the last question.
non-occupy related question, Mr. Mayor, budget day on.
I haven't heard anything. I've been totally occupied by Occupy Toronto today, so I haven't had time to listen and about what's happening at Queen's Park.
Do you have any regrets about waiting so long to go into the park?
No, we had a plan. I think we've been more than patient, and the protesters, were well behaved, and we appreciate that. And that's all I have to say. I'm just glad it's over. And again, I want to thank Norm Kelly and Doug Holliday and Joe Penichetti and Chief Blair and everyone that was involved in ending this protest peacefully today.
Okay, thanks, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Okay.